Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Daily Market Report brought to you by Mike Bjork, and happy Friday. It's Friday, May 1st. Happy May Day as well. We got a few items here on the economic calendar, so let's jump right into it. We'll start off, we got these first two on manufacturing industries. So the first one is with market manufacturing PMI for the month of April. Anything below 50 is considered contraction, so you can see March was under contraction at 48.5 on the index, and it dropped down to 36.1 for April. And then you got ISM Manufacturing Index. This was at 49.1%. Forecast were calling for 35%, and it dipped all the way down to 41.5%. So a little bit better expectations, which is obviously a good sign, but still in contraction territory. So that goes without saying. Last but not least, we see construction spending for the month of March. So in February, it dropped 1.3%, and forecast calling for 3.5% drop, and actually increased by 0.9%. So let's jump ahead here to the headline news. Stocks are down so far this morning. A lot of it has to do with earnings reports. We had Amazon and Apple came out with some numbers. Some of them they did all right in the first quarter, but more. It's not so much what they're saying for first quarter, but kind of what they're hinting ahead that there could be some losses. Especially Amazon had mentioned some losses. The energy, oil industries are taking a pretty big hit so far on their pricing, on their earnings reports. We had, I think, Mobil had for the first time in like 3 decades claiming a loss for a quarter. Um, but and not only that, stocks are down. But last but not least, on this chart here is President Trump had mentioned for China's role in this pandemic that he may even slap on some tariffs. So that might they're thinking of some type of punishment for China on regards to how they handled the pandemic. So that is out there, and of course, creating a little bit of concern for investors as the economies are pretty weak, and now that could even further weaken things. So let's jump ahead here, see how this is playing on the bond market. Bond market's down a little bit. As you can see, we did start off a little bit higher. Now we're down about 6 basis points. Again, we're just above this 25-day moving average. We've been pretty straight line here, so we haven't had a lot of fluctuations in our pricing here. But again, this is going to be rising up. So at some point, if we don't, as long as we go along with this and go upwards, we'll see some slight improvement. So if you guys are out there, I would definitely look to be continuing into floating. Yields are kind of still in the similar position right now. They're sitting just below 0.63 on this index, not index, on the yields. And that's pretty much about it. Mortgage rates, I would say, are about the same, unchanged. So again, I haven't really had any changes going on right there. Some changes that came up this week for mortgages. If you're interested, we had seen cash out refinance. A lot of investors that pulled away from investing are pulling away from cash out refinances. And this is due to the FHFA lack of assistance or help. So that's kind of one of the key components out there, so be careful out there. But we do see some avenues where we have a few investors that are not making any changes on it. They're going to continue with it. So basically what they're doing is that the ones that are kind of pulling out of it, they're basically passing on any cost to them, which is about 5 points, which would be basically price you out of the market. They're just applying that towards cash out refinances. So that's why they're not going to be doing them. But we do have a few investors that are not applying that. Also, I did see one investor is going to even drop their FHA Streamline down to 520. So, or I'm sorry, not 520. Pardon me, 580. My mistake. Down to 580. So they may have some extra restrictions on it, but I'm not really sure. They just saw a recent email from them dropped down to 580 on their FHA Streamline. So that's kind of a good sign. So we do get some good news a little bit, but mixed in with some bad news. So, and some of it's dependent on the investor, because each investor is going to be different. We're going to go through this period where this will be kind of that way where some lenders may not survive this. Some lenders may be struggling due to what's going on with this FHA lack of services and stuff. So just hopefully work with somebody that can help guide you through these waters here. So if you guys are in California, I'd love to hear from you guys. We can help you work out. We work with a lot of different investors, so that way we're not constrained to just one. In case they run into issues, we can always move you over to another one. but we do work with a lot of different investors. So just direct message me or email me. My information's in red at the bottom here on this page. We're also I also put inside, if you guys are ready, in the description, a link you can start adding your information, upload any documents you might have, and we can go from there as well. You guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for watching, and we will catch you guys in the next video on Monday. Bye-bye.